Hello and welcome to the Z-Hut. Today we're going to take a look at these cutoff wheels with the mandrel made by IIT that are for a rotary tool. And a rotary tool would of course be a Dremel tool. But now I'm going to demonstrate these working, but if you're not using a Dremel, you're maybe using one of these cheaper. And I do actually have one of these little cheaper ones. The reason I have this is 12 volt. I can actually bring it with me in a toolbox in my vehicle or use it out in the field. That's the only reason I have this, and they are kind of crappy, but it's better than trying to lug out a generator or a couple hundred feet of extension cord if you are in a position where you need portable Dremel. Now, they do make battery operated Dremels. I don't like those. I tried one and it didn't have the torque, the power this does. But all right, with that, now the normal wheels you get, of course I got one on there. These are what you generally get with the Dremel. And this is cut off, and this is more, for like metals, and you can use it with plastics. And if you watched my last video, I actually compared this. I got these at the same time. I got these. They had these little saw blade things. So if you didn't see that video, I'll try to remember to put a link in the description below, or maybe I'll just put a card up here in the top of the screen if you want to check those out, because those work awesome. But right next to those was these, and just these cutoff wheels. They wouldn't fit the manual. They actually had a package of like 30 of these wheels. I don't use these very often. They were like $4 for a package of them. I might actually go back and buy one of them. It depends how good they work. I've never used these. I generally do not buy IIT tools. Like I said, this is something you're going to normally find at like Unclaimed Freight or online. I was at the Unclaimed Freight store buying hacksaw blades. Cheap hacksaw blades, yeah, because I break them, whether it's name brand ones or the cheap ones. I just have bad luck with hacksaw blades. Don't use a ton of them, but I can go in there and get a package. I think it's 4 or 6, something like that. And it's like $1 something. So I just go with those. And there, if I do remember, are IIT. But otherwise, for hand tools and stuff, right there you can see I use name brand stuff. These are Wisses or Wisconsins, whatever the heck they are. Yeah, the Wiss, W-I-S-S. Them are name brand. But all right, well, enough rambling on. Let's open these up. What we'll do is we'll compare how good they work compared to. Now, I don't think this is a Dremel made cutoff wheel I have on here, but the brand I was getting, I think I actually got these ones at Harbor Freight. They worked about as good as the name brand ones. The cutoff wheels, they're overpriced to begin with, but they're pretty much all made the same way. But we'll compare them. I got a little piece of metal here and some plastic, and we could try wood. I don't think these are really made for wood, but we'll try. And as you can see, I got this whole thing for 99 cents. That's a deal. Let's open this up. Dump it out. That can go in the garbage. I've got a big box I can put this all in. Matter of fact, I'll show you there. I got my little, I don't know if this was a tackle box, tool box, whatever it was, and I can keep all my stuff from my Dremel in there. And there's those saw blades I was talking about. I got my sanders and grinding stuff, wire wheels, drill bits, everything you need for a Dremel. All right, well, let's go ahead and put one of these on. I got my screwdriver here. All right. Now, I don't think these were made and intended to be used with an air-powered rotary tool. And I actually got one right here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. One of these, and you can see the cutoff wheel I got in there. It's a lot bigger. I don't think these are quite will handle. The RPMs on this thing are insane compared to a Dremel. This thing rips ass. I guess is the best way to put it, but that's for cutting metal. It's for cutting bigger stuff. All right, so we'll lock that on there. I'm going to actually grab pliers here so I don't want this coming loose while I'm using it and come flying at me. There we go. That should be tight enough. Alright, that's on there, but first, let's test this one out since I already have it on here. And we're going to run at the high speed. So we're going to try plastic, then we'll try the metal and the wood. That's not too bad a cutting speed. And if, once again, if you watched that last video I did, it didn't melt that bad this time. That last video I did on the saw blades, you see how long that took? I could have probably cut 2 feet of plastic in the amount of time I just did this by using those saw blades. So check that video out. You're going to find it pretty cool. Alright, now this is just some, it's commonly referred to as plumber's tape. It's just a thin, not super hard metal. And with the Dremel tool, this stuff really isn't, they're not intended for cutting, real heavy, thick stuff. I mean, that's where one of these comes in. If that's what you're doing, get one of these air rotary tools. They're awesome, man. That thing will rip through stuff. I mean, you can cut your finger off probably in 5 seconds with the thing. So remember, be careful. Oh, and remember, always wear safety goggles. You can't see because my face ain't in the video, but yeah, wearing goggles. Well, that wheel actually self-destructed. It was vibrating a little, but it didn't cut worth a crap anyway. Right there, we're not even maybe a 16th if we're lucky. Well, I guess we're not going to be able to demonstrate that one on wood, but I have tried it before. It, well, kind of sort of works. Lots of smoke involved. Not recommended. Once again, those saw blades, like I had in my last video, I keep talking about, they're like super awesome. I do love them. One of the few IIT tools I've ever liked, and that was the first one I ever will honestly give a 5 out of 5. But I got a feeling this is a little thicker. It's also a little bigger around. I got a feeling this might actually cut this decently. She's vibrating a little there. Now the wheel's just off-centered slightly. Alright, that didn't cut too bad. I mean, we're talking using a Dremel cutting metal. I think this is actually the first time I ever cut metal with the Dremel. Primarily, I mean, if you subscribe to my channel, I do electronic stuff, and I usually use the Dremel, for like drilling holes and modifying project boxes and stuff for electronic stuff. So it's almost 99.9% plastic. But I seen these 99 cents. I mean, once in a great while, you might need to cut some metal. And you know what? Not bad. I hardly ever give a 5 out of 5. The saw blades I had to give the 5 out of 5. Them were awesome. This isn't too bad. I'm going to give this a 4 3/4 out of 5. It's pretty close to a 5, but I don't like giving out 5s unless it's something I super like. And I don't know if I'm going to bother picking up, they had these cutoff wheels. It was like $4 for a package. I think there was like 30 of them. This year I think there's like 10. Don't know. It just kind of depends if I'm there for something else. I got a couple extra dollars maybe, because for the amount of metal cutting I'm going to be doing, this is probably going to last me darn near forever. But all right, I think we've rambled on long enough here, and we tested it out. Well, we can just super quickly. I'm pretty sure this is going to do the same thing that the cheapo one that self-destructed will do. It's going to smoke like crazy, and it'll cut, but not the greatest. Whew. Yeah, it cut, but oh, knocked that down harder than I thought. Not very good. Not recommended for wood. Once again, check out, look in the description below if you're going to be cutting wood and you're looking at IIT. And there's a couple other brands out there I ran across. There's stuff like Northern Tool, used to be called Northern Hydraulic. Then there's Harbor Freight. And there's a couple of them other than cheapo tool places. A lot of them, some of the places will have some IIT, but usually they'll have their own branded thing. But the thing is, most of that stuff comes from the same factory. They just have their name put on it. Kind of like back in the day, Radio Shack. Depending what you went in there to buy, you know, their microphones had Radio Shack on them, but they weren't made by Radio Shack. The ham radios, they had Radio Shack on some of their ham radios and CB stuff. And if I remember, Realistic, I think it was the company that actually manufactured them, but they just put their name on. And I know this because I had two HTs that were identical, but one said Radio Shack, and if I remember, the other was a Realistic, I think. I'm going to have to look. I can't remember. I got rid of one of them. I think maybe it was the Radio Shack one I kept, but that's 2 meter HT. But I ran across that. All right, enough rambling on. If you found this information useful, leave me a thumbs up. Appreciate it. If you go and buy one of these, or if you know another brand, you know, a cheap one that works okay, leave a comment. If you know of one of these cheap and expensive brands that are just total junk that you think nobody should buy, leave a comment. Like I said, these, I don't know if there's going to be much difference between these and the name brand. This stuff is pretty much made the same way. It's just this stuff is made in China or Hong Kong or Taiwan or wherever. I'm not sure where they make IIT. It just says manufactured exclusively for Illinois Industrial Tool. And it doesn't say where on there it's made. I mean, this could be made in Korea, China. I mean, it's going to be overseas. This, for 99 cents, there ain't nobody working for $20 an hour. And they're going to be able to afford to sell these for 99 cents. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining us here at the Z-Hut today. I hope you have a great day. And remember, have fun building.